All right, well, there's the whole panelverse thing that is in relation to Sarah of the Raging Tomato, Andrew Wilson of The Crucible, Rob Noir, and then there's the Powdered Dusty, also known as Flow State, and a handful of others that have become rather drama-filled and somewhat controversial and all of that. Okay, Sarah of the Raging Tomato has a couple channels. There's the Raging Tomato and there's the Gauntlet. And she holds different debates on a number of subjects where she has usually two people on one side, two people on the other side, and they debate and she moderates. And when they're set up like that, they work out pretty well as an actual debate. After a period of time, after the main debate is over, she then opens up those panels to everyone, and it becomes an open panel, and then it quickly fills up to there being 10 people on the panel. And the debate part kind of starts to go away, and because it's really hard to moderate when you have all these people that feel really strongly about things, and it becomes a no-holds-barred discussion that almost sort of tilts as being Jerry Springer-ish, right? People interrupt each other, people get really mad, people joke around, people troll, that sort of thing. And there are some people that don't like that format. The Crucible, Andrew Wilson, has been on the Raging Tomatoes panels before, and he did help her get a lot more subscribers because he's well known. He's been on Whatever, if you know that podcast. He also is well known for making Matt Dillahunty leave a debate because he went off about trans people. And Matt Dillahunty doesn't want to talk about trans people because his girlfriend is trans. And he thinks that any criticism of the trans community is a criticism directly on him and his girlfriend. So Andrew Wilson is known for that. I made a video that referenced Andrew Wilson. I don't like most of his views, but he is extremely good at debating. So eventually Andrew Wilson didn't want to go on Sarah's, the Raging Tomatoes, debates anymore because, when it does turn into a no-holds-barred situation when there are 10 people on a panel, Andrew can't get a word in like he's used to getting. So, he eventually stopped going to her, and she sort of, she didn't take it necessarily that lightly, and she said a few bad things about him, and then Andrew's opinion is that, well, she should kiss his ass and sort of be submissive and do everything that he wants because he's the one that got her so many subscribers. And I don't think she should have to kiss his ass. I don't think she should have to be submissive to him. I know that that's how he feels about women. He thinks women should be submissive. He has a whole bunch of antiquated, archaic views, as far as I'm concerned. And so that's triggered a lot of conversations, about the panelverse, because Sarah's channel and a few others are considered the panelverse. At least right now they are, anyway. And then Rob Noir had a similar thing happen there. You know, he didn't like the fact that he was getting interrupted. Oh, you're interrupting me. That's the most offensive thing ever, you know, and he just gets really pissy about it. And so he badmouthed Sarah, and then Sarah badmouthed him. Then he badmouthed Sarah some more. And then Sarah and a number of others are now badmouthing Rob. And it's just and Rob's another person. He's very good at debating, but he doesn't do well in scenarios that are not a formal, or at least a semi-formal debate. Even when it's supposed to be a blood sports debate, so to speak, he still gets really pissy if he's ever interrupted, or if someone gets too pissed off, or someone trolls, or someone is joking around. He just doesn't handle it well. But he is very good at debating, and he has very similar views to Andrew Wilson. But some of the things that the panelverse has been saying against both Rob Noir and Andrew Wilson, I think are kind of childish. That's the main reason I'm making this video. I wanted to just say, hey, some of you guys are being childish. I think some of you are just downright jealous of the debating skills of Andrew and Rob. I think some of you are just downright jealous. So you resort to childish tactics to making fun of them. You know, again, I don't like the opinions of either of them. I think that some of their opinions and viewpoints are terrible. But I think this notion of going around saying childish things about them is childish. I don't understand how you guys think that you're looking like the good guys here. You know, now, I mean, I'll admit I'm jealous of Rob and Andrew's debating skills. I'm not very good at debating. You know, I'll fully admit, yeah, I'm jealous of their skills. They are fantastic at their craft. But that doesn't mean I'm going to start making fun of them for stupid things. You know? I don't know. It's I haven't gotten much involved in a lot of the discussions about Rob and Andrew. I haven't gotten much involved in the discussions. I've watched a few of the video chats about it, but I've been trying to stay away from it because it's just, again, it just seems so childish, some of the things that are being said. You know, I wish people would grow up a little more about this. You know, just move on. Stop talking about those two people constantly. You know, if you're being reasonable adults, you just move on and talk about other things. If you want to be childish, if you want to be drama, then you keep doing what you're doing. I'm not necessarily going to say I'm tired of seeing it, but I am kind of sad that you're talking about it so much in a way that, well, I mean, I like going in a lot of the panelverse's video chats. I like going to them, but not when this is the constant subject. You know, I don't want to be seen as being a part of the childish reactions to Rob and Andrew. I just don't want to be seen as part of that. You know, and I suppose I could go in there and just tell them, you're being childish. Hey, you're being childish. But then I'll be made into the enemy. They'll say I'm kissing Rob and Andrew's ass. I'm like, no, I'm not. I don't like their views. You know, I don't like how, I mean, this is, now I'll say this. Both Rob and Andrew were kind of being childish about how they reacted to the format of the no-holds-barred Jerry Springer, people speaking out of turn kind of video chats. Okay, I think they were being a little childish about it as well. But that doesn't mean that the reaction to them being pissy about that format should be leaving constant childish discussions about them. I guess I don't know what more to say, but I hope the panelverse starts getting over themselves. That's all I've got to say. Thanks.